Hey, what's going on, guys? Back with another day trading recap. We took a long today on ES around the low of day around 75.32, and it was a great trade. There were so many confluences, and I was just able to, my bad, sorry. I was just able to see the market well, was patient throughout the day, and did not force any setups. So I'll go over that here in a second. But the Bible verse I'm going over today is going to be Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 10. It says, "Whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income. This too is meaningless." This verse right here, it does not condemn money, but it condemns the love of money as a priority. It warns that happiness is not tied solely to financial gain, and that happiness that we tie to financial gain will lead us to emptiness and futility. Um, those who place love or trust in money will never find satisfaction, regardless of how much they acquire, how much money you have in your bank account, how much money you're making at your job. If you put all of your trust and love into it, never be satisfied. The verse was written by King Solomon, and the overall chapter 5 basically addresses the proper attitude towards wealth, vows, and worship. But verse 10 serves as a caution against materialism. It gives you caution against the illusion that riches will guarantee success and happiness. You can be rich and wealthy in money and sad at heart, depressed. Life can still go bad, but if you put your faith and trust in God and we use the money as a tool to help the kingdom and everybody around us, that's where true happiness is built. So let's tie this into trading, which is very simple. The insatiable desire in the markets, um, in trading, basically the love of money can manifest as an obsession with higher profits, faster gains, bigger positions. Um, I'll size up 4 or 5 contracts and I'll make $3,000 in 2 minutes instead of making a quick, you know, 1,000 or 500 in 2 or 3 minutes, risking only 100. You start getting that want to make more. You aren't happy with all the progress you've slowly made. You start wanting to make more and more money quicker and quicker. And this is a cycle where each win can set a new benchmark, and we will always try to chase the next opportunity instead of being content with where we're at. Now, you don't want to be stagnant, but we can still be content without being stagnant. Um, the verse contrasts loving wealth, like trading gains, with loving God. This means asking yourself daily: Is my heart focused on God's purposes or on the market's rewards? If market rewards dominates, that is when you risk allowing money and gains and trading to become the master and not the servant. We're if we're allowing the money and the thought process to rule over us instead of, taking our, godly wisdom, our wisdom, discipline, discernment, patience, loving, kindness, just being calm with ourselves, and we're just worried about making money, that's when it starts to become the master. We should be leading with the godly, you know, just the godly emotions in trading. He gives us the wisdom, he gives us the discernment, he gives us the patience. And if we steward those right, then the profits come. But if you're just worried about the money, like I have in the past couple trades, that's when you start taking poor trades and allowing it to become the master of you. So you have to be careful. Money and gains are tools. In trading, this means using your skills and resources wisely and not letting the money rule your identity or worth, which I just went over a couple videos ago. I was allowing, I kindly just got over allowing losses and wins to rule my identity and worth. And then basically, no amount of trading success can fill the soul. You can be successful making millions of dollars, but it doesn't mean it's going to make you happy or fulfill your soul. Um, if trading is taking over, replacing a deeper relationship with God, you will never be happy. We have to balance our ambition with humility, discipline with rest, and profits with purpose. when trading becomes a spiritual pursuit of becoming and being the best version of ourselves, then a financial one, or then it can be profitable and fulfilling. So that's all I really have for today about that. I'm gonna go over the trade setup here. This morning, uh, I was looking for longs because we started building value above yesterday's value area, and each retest was holding back within that value. Um, and we just kept making higher lows, higher highs. At open, we sold off into this value area high from yesterday. It also aligned with a high volatility level and a put support from gamma exposure, and it was right near where the weekly value area low was as well. So, and a low volume node. So it had multiple confluences. I did not see a trade set up this morning. We rallied. There were lots of signs of absorption near the highs to get long, but there were no levels or confluences for me, so I didn't take any. And then, as you see here, right now on the screen at 10:19, we just sold off back into this like 33 to 30 area. And this morning, when we retested 75.33, we filled a massive bid. And once again, bids re-stepped back in as we came back into them, filled them. So right here, I was looking for longs already. I did not see any confirmation here though, so I was just kind of patiently waiting, seeing what would happen. Yeah, using gamma exposure levels and content or confluence with value area has really, as I've done back testing and rewatch, it's really helped my trading and it's helped me see where the market is and just better context overall for where market makers are hedging and just dealers are positioned at. So right here, broke below low day. We're that or we're right near low day, but broke below that filled bid at 33s. So I was just kind of patiently waiting to see what was going to happen here. If we are going to flush through low day and start selling, I was going to be looking for shorts if we got below like 75.25, which was yesterday's volume point of control. So I was just patiently waiting at this moment. There was no signs of absorption. All buying was being shut down. And as you see here, 75.30, which is low day, broke below low day by like 2 ticks, maybe 3. Filled another, smaller bid, but we filled a bid. Um, now you see here, we're just, making higher lows, delta's going lower, and then that aggressive buying steps in. So at this point in time right here, I really was, looking for longs. Then as we pulled back right here, higher low, delta was below low day delta. What I wanted to see was aggressive buying step in. There's multiple outliers, multiple signs of absorption. We're near low day. Yesterday's value area high. Put support was tested, which is at 75.29, 75.29, 75. And we also were near overnight value area low. So as you see here, I got long after as I saw this aggressive buying around 10:22. Stop was below low a day. That's where it truly invalidated. And from this point right here, my thought process was we have overnight volume point of control aligned with weekly VWAP and regular VWAP. And right now we're still in like a positive, gamma environment. So what I was thinking was one, I want to see how price reacts when we get back up to this, those 3 points right there. We had some resting offers sitting up there at the 47s. And then as you see on the footprint chart, we had 267 delta outlier of a large buyer right there. And I was comfortable just kind of waiting. Oh, sorry. I screenshotted a picture of the candlestick chart, as you'll see here in a second. Saved it. Um, so I was just looking to see how we were going to react near like 46 to 47 area. I was willing to go break even around there just to see, just in case if we got up there, we rejected back down to my entry, I would, stop out, break even. Now, the reason I chose the Bible verse, Ecclesiastes 5:10, whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with the income. I basically chose it because this trade, I had already lost the past like 3 or 4 trades. I was already down a good amount of points, just from the past 3 or 4 trades. Moving stop losses, being swept out. But I did not allow the thought of money to rule over me. I wasn't worried about, oh, I got to make all my profits back. I got to make this amount back. I was just kind of patiently waiting. Now, my overall end target was going to be 75.55. It was a gamma exposure level. Had a large resting offer just sitting there already, too. It was overnight highs, or like near overnight highs, and it was also aligned with overnight value area high. So I was kind of willing to see what we're going to do there. And as you can see, I had that large aggressive seller there around 10, like 10:07 ish. So here we are coming up to retest, or coming up to test that VWAP and overnight volume point of control. It's kind of just sitting here patiently waiting. I like to see like low day sellers failed, and then all this aggressive buying steps in. I mean, I don't always take good trades, but when I do, they're usually pretty solid. It's, light pullback, not really too much drawdown on the good trades I take. That's how I know they're going to be successful. Usually, I get stopped out real quick, as you guys have seen, real quick stop outs on bad trades. So I moved to break even. We're at the VWAP and weekly VWAP. And I just wanted to see how we were going to react. I wanted to see if there was going to be large aggressive sellers stepping in, pushing us back below this 37 level. I was just patiently waiting. You see, we had that stacked offer sitting there at 47. The algos are just moving it around. Here we go back up again, another retest of VWAP. What I wanted to see was a large aggressive, break through it. I did not want to see us continue to fail. Buyers getting trapped at VWAP. Since we're in like a positive gamma regime, basically we're mean reverting. So this could have been a great area to take profits. With what I was risking, it would have been like a 1.5 to 1 risk reward ratio. Not really, really worth it for me. So that's what I would like to see, that strong aggressive buy move straight through it. Look at that. And I was just waiting to see. I wanted to see us hold above that VWAP area, and I was targeting that 55. There's just a large resting offer there. You'll see here in a second. I'll zoom out. And I managed this trade pretty well. Moved break even pretty easily. Didn't stress about money. Um, I had a pretty solid target. And honestly, there was no signs of absorption for me to really get out. I was just wanting to see this offer fill up here. Now, this was my original target, and my thought process came down to this. It was basically, if we could fill this offer, I was going to sit here in the trade for a couple seconds, maybe a minute. I wanted to see, one, if we filled the offer, if we could sweep through, aggressively move up still, or B, if we were going to fill the offer, fail to find more buyers above, and then have the aggressive selling step in, I was willing to exit position. But 55 was about a 20 point gain. So I really didn't want to let it go back to break even, of course. But here we go. We come up, filled that offer completely. It was 125 lots. I think we filled like 220, 250. Now, what I was waiting to see here was where we're going to aggressively shoot up through here, have this large buying continuously step in. And then as I started seeing the selling right here, I kind of was getting a little bit iffy. I was thinking, you know, can we hold above 51? But then I seen the aggressive selling step in, and I think I exit. Yep, exit out right here. Took a 17-point win, about 6 to 7 minutes, not bad. Um, just followed the plan, and honestly, overall, it was a great trading day, great thesis, great confluences, and just overall greatly managing my trade. Now, granted, looking back on this, I did pretty much bottom tick the market. I was in at 35, low day was 29. I think we rallied all the way up to like 7,600 by the end of the day. So, sucks, but got my part of the move, took my profit, managed trades well, got in, did not force trade setups early during the day when there was, signs of absorption, but no real edge or outliers. So, great trading. This win took out 2 or 3 losses. So continue to come back and just like and comment.